everyone! If you're new to our channel, I'm Elisa with EECC Travels, and today we're going to talk about the importance of passports. Why you need a passport, even if you're cruising and don't plan on flying to another country, why a passport is so very, very important. Okay, so let's start with those of you who say, all I'm doing is cruising, passports are not required for cruising, so why do I need a passport? There's a lot of good reasons to have a passport. Number one, it makes it so much easier in the check-in and check-out process, leaving the country, getting on the ship, and then coming back through customs when you're done with your cruise. So, I'm going to use Galveston as an example. So when you cruise out of Galveston, the getting through is about the same for everybody, but the coming back, when the entire ship is offloading at the same time and you have to go through customs, there are two lines. One for people with passports and one for people who don't have passports. The line for passports is about, oh my God, a tenth of the line the people that don't have passports. So you can get through customs so much faster. The other thing is, if you've gone through the process of getting a passport, the customs officers, they know passports. They're really easy to check. They're very difficult to fake. A passport is like gold when you're getting in and out of another country. On the other hand, with a birth certificate, even if your whole family was born in the same state, but you're born at all different times, your birth certificates look totally different. Like, for instance, for our family, Jason was born in Texas, I was born in Louisiana, both in the 70s. Our birth certificates look totally different. Then you look at the kids' birth certificates don't look anything like ours. So the customs agents have to go through a lot more scrutiny on those birth certificates than they do a passport. So let me tell you, that right there is gold. Getting your passport, spending that little bit of money, and then you have it for 10 years. So if you cruise on a regular basis, you're gonna use this multiple times. It's definitely worth the money. Reason number two is, what if something happens on your cruise? And I'm gonna break this down into two parts. Number one, what if there's a family emergency back home? Say your cruise is going to Cozumel, Grand Cayman, and Jamaica. And the night before that you're supposed to land in Jamaica, you get a text that someone is very ill or someone passed away. You can't go to the airport and fly back home. You can't. If you don't have a passport, that is not an option for you. You're just gonna have to wait out to the end of your cruise, get back to the original port, and then make your way back home. This is something a lot of people don't think of, and hopefully it doesn't happen too often, but it definitely can happen. I know I got off a cruise one time, and this was very early on, I had totally disconnected, didn't have any Wi-Fi, didn't have anything to check my text messages or my emails, got off the cruise, turned my data back on, and found out my dad was in the hospital. So this is a real thing. I mean, things do happen back at home. So if you don't have a passport, say you're only 2 days into a 7-day cruise, you cannot go home without a passport. So that's a very, very important thing. On the flip side of that, what if something happens to you while you're on a cruise? Say, and I'm using real world examples of things I have seen. We were in Belize one time, and somebody from our ship had been injured. And when I say someone, it was probably a 17-year-old kid on a stretcher with a broken leg. The whole family had their luggage. They were going to the hospital, okay? They were staying in Belize because their son needed immediate treatment. A broken leg is not something they can treat on the cruise ship. They could get him comfortable until they got to port, then he needed a hospital. If that family did not have passports, yeah, they're gonna be left in Belize, but do you know how much trouble they're gonna have getting back into the United States? They're gonna have to contact their consulate, they're gonna have to make emergency arrangements. It's gonna be very costly and very difficult for them to get back into the United States without those passports. So, I'm not saying this to scare anyone. I'm telling you the value of a passport. It costs $110. It's good for 10 years. Do yourself a favor and get a passport. But now, the real reason for this video is If we didn't have these little beauties, we could not have done this. We had an absolutely fantastic time in Mexico, and we could not have gone there if we didn't have our passports. So you guys know we're big cruisers. We cruise a lot, 3, 4, 5 times a year. We've never chosen the all-inclusive route because we've always cruised. But as you know, cruising's not happening right now. So we were looking for an alternative vacation and found out Mexico is open. You can go to all-inclusives in Mexico. So we had our passports and we booked a trip and it was fantastic. So I'm just here to tell you, if you don't have a passport, get one. I know that right now during COVID, it's taking longer to get a passport than usual, but start the process. Get your paperwork together, go pay your money, get your application in, and wait. Now, a little trick, if you have dates, if you know I'm going on a trip December 15th and I'm going to Mexico, put on your passport application those dates, and they do their best to get it back to you by that time. You can also expedite your passport application, and then that gets it back even quicker. So keep in mind, passports are taking longer than usual right now, but if you want to take a trip in the next 3 to 4 months, start the process now because it can take a little while. All right, so how do you get a passport? It's going to be the same application across the United States, but each state has a little bit different of how they handle the passports. So first thing I would do is just Google how to get a passport in your state. And then you're gonna get a lot of links that will tell you this. But let me show you the main website of how to get a passport. Okay, everything you need to know is right here on this website. It is travel.state.gov. This is the home page here. You'll see that there is a COVID alert right here, update on U.S. passport operations. But this is the home screen. So just scroll down to get a U.S. passport. From here, you're going to get more information on the fact that it is taking longer to get a passport. See, it's 10 to 12 weeks, where it normally would only take 4 to 6 weeks, but you can expedite for $60 to get it in that 4 to 6 week period. Everything you need to know about getting a passport is right here. And then you come to, I need a passport, apply in person, and there's some other information here. You can track your application once you've already sent it in, but just click apply in person. Then it's going to tell you everything you need. Here's the form that needs to be completed. This is what you do if you meet these criteria. If you're renewing, it's a different form. But everything is really broken down. How to apply, fill out the form. It tells you exactly what to do. There's a form filler on here. So you can go through this whole application process online. You can fill out your application online, print it out. Don't sign it until you get there. But then everything you need to know, see, provide evidence of U.S. citizenship. Bring a photocopy of U.S. citizenship. Present ID. Bring a photocopy of your ID. How to get a photo. What your fees are going to be. Submit your completed application. Track your application. Then you're going to go find out where in your state you can bring this in person. Overall, it's a very, very easy process. All right, I hope this video has been helpful. I hope you're planning on getting your passports. If you do already have a passport, drop a comment of why you got the passport and what the first trip you took. If you don't have a passport, drop a comment of if you're going to get a passport, and once you have it, where is the first place you're gonna go? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to our channel, please subscribe for more travel videos to come. And until next time, bye.